gonna be
Speaking
feeling
out
good.
loud.
I'm
Nadia.
Sorry.
This is Nadia.
I'm not.
Shantae.
And Mia. And we're just gonna roll with it, but we're gonna start off with age differences when you're dating, like dating older man or younger man. So
What's
who
older?
wanna
Like
start?
how much older?
That's a good question.
When you say older.
Well, I think generally, I mean, when you're younger, for me, it was in my 20s dating 30-year-olds.
That's older.
When you think about it,
that's
it's a big
definitely
age
older.
difference.
That's a big age difference.
And I feel like in our culture, that's acceptable. You know, because even when you're younger, you might be like 16 dating a 26.
No, that's not acceptable.
But in our culture,
we grew up. Yeah, like back in the day, like, and we thought about that thing, like, we was like, what the heck was going on?
That's right.
But it just was,
That's right. If you 20 something dating a teenager, you are raping her. I don't care what she said to you.
That is so true. And if
she can't give you consent.
Right.
but there was no consent. It was like everybody was doing it.
That's
where we were.
All right, so
we were all dating older men.
So I have an older sister that's 3 years older than me, and she was dating men older than her. She was dating men older than her, and she introduced me to a guy that she was dating. He had a brother, and at the time I was 12.
Oh no, that's
at the time I was 12,
right.
and he was 18. And I remember the first time meeting him, he started to touch me, and I thought it was going to be some making out. But then once he wanted to be intimate, I was like, whoa.
Because he's on a whole nother level.
Yeah, I was like, we don't have sex. Like that. I mean, I was 12, so that wasn't even what was on my mind. Of course, at that time, your hormones are going, but I still knew right and wrong. Baby, your hormones.
I'm a late bloomer.
No, I was ready. No, I didn't act on it, but I was ready. Okay, I waited because I my reputation means a lot to me. But I just felt like when I was younger, I didn't date anybody that was you couldn't be no more than 3 years older than me.
We didn't do that.
You couldn't be no more than 3 years older than me.
Like you 3 years older than me, you too young.
It wasn't until I became an adult that I was like, all right, now I'm mature, I'm paying bills, I'm going to school, I'm working. No, you need a man that's older because the older, then they're mature and they on your level at that age. But when I was a kid, like to me, if you was older, I didn't want to see men with hair on their chest yet. It was just I just felt like when I ain't trying to, I'm 16. I don't want no grown looking man with hair all over his chest and a full beard.
That's what we wanted, right?
It was a whole nother story.
Yes, and it's funny. It's a funny story.
It's horrible.
Yeah, because with me and my husband, we met 15 years ago, and he's 2 years older than me. Mm-hmm. But I actually almost didn't date him because he was too young.
2 years.
Even though he was 2 years older than me, I was like, he can't do nothing for
me.
He's too young. But whenever I met him, I was surprised. Like, maybe I was wrong about these young boys all along.
But you know what? The younger dudes, there's a
a
lot of younger dudes nowadays that are actually doing their thing. You know, as far as financially, I think like growing up where we're from in Niagara Falls, New York, it wasn't like that.
Right.
Guys our age, they were doing guys our age things,
Exactly.
which was playing sports, going to school.
Right.
They may have had a job. They may have been, doing a little weed or something on the side. But that wasn't enough because we had big girl dreams. We needed diamonds. Like we really did. We were really on a whole nother level too young. And the older guys were just. I remember this one guy. No names. Actually, he passed away. That's say how old he might. No, because people. Anyway, he's old. He was older than me, and I remember we were walking the club. Remember that movie? I don't know if it was Godfather when he walked in the kitchen with his wife, and he was like, "How much you need?" It was either Godfather or Blow or something like that, and she was with like this. And
Goodfellas.
And she gave him this much, and that stuck with me, right? I was just like, oh,
but that was my mom in real life, though.
Right. So this guy walked up to me. He was older than me, and I'm not gonna tell you how much older, but he was older than me. And
so how much you told him you needed?
This much.
How much?
Yes. So let me tell you. So he wanted to talk to me, and I wouldn't give him no play. So he was like, kept pressing. I'm like, nah. And so he was like, you know, and not like he was trying to buy me, but he knew he needed to come a little harder, right? So he was like, how much, like, what you want? Like, and I'm just like, and he was like, well, go ahead and get it. So he let me go in his pocket and get it, and I still didn't give him play that time. He did it again. He was like, what you, like, what? I was like,
I need this again.
And he did it again, and he let me get some money. Now we did kick it for a little bit. Actually, he was the first person that brought me down to North Carolina.
Nice.
And the crazy thing about it is, this older dude, right? Before we went to North Carolina, we went to Myrtle Beach, and we drove. I'm younger, and we stopped by my mama house. It was like, yes, this is how this should be.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, Mom.
How old were you at the time?
I couldn't have been. I had to be like 16.
Right. It's just to give you an example.
I had to be like 16.
Yeah, what the high school used to look like. Our high school would be packed with grown men waiting for us to get out of school. They had already graduated.
The parking lot was like,
it was normalized.
and I switched high school.
Okay. I cannot believe this was okay.
It was happening. It's horrible.
We didn't know
no better, and nobody was saying.
Right.
This.
Your mom didn't say, "What are you doing? What are you doing with my daughter? You a grown ass man."
I pulled up. We pulled up. I'm telling you, we pulled up. And there's no shade against my mom or all, because I love my mama, and nobody better cuss at her.
Right.
I'm talking about nobody mamas.
But we pulled up before we left, and I was like, Mom, okay, I'm going out of town with so and so, and we'll be back on this day. And she was like, okay, take care of my baby. You better make sure you do. And she knew him.
Yeah. You know what that reminds me of, that situation with Michael Jackson, when they was like, the parents was letting their kids stay with Michael, knowing like, this a grown man. Why you want my 6-year-old to be spending the night with you?
Yeah, it was
to me, it's just something.
The culture, because that was the same with my mother. I just felt like she
Nada Frost was off the chain.
Right. She knew I was in the club dating older men.
Younger,
but it was
fake
just,
ID.
right, everything. It was just some of them she said something, but most of them she didn't. And I gotta ask her what determined who was okay and who wasn't okay.
Probably the cheddar. It was probably the money.
Didn't know at the time. So it's normal, and even when you look at the Aaliyah and the R. Kelly, and so many other stories, it really is our culture.
It was really happening like that. Because we talked about,
I used to be scared.
What the heck was
scared,
happening?
like sexually, even with them?
No.
Y'all wasn't
they
scared?
loosened us up quick.
Y'all get already. Me and Simone ain't loose.
No, I'm not talking about that kind of loose.
She's tight. She's tight.
I mean, we felt comfortable. Right. We felt comfortable.
She's here.
Right.
We here on it, China.
Right. We felt comfortable early.
I mean, all right. So to me, I felt like when I was young, I always like, oh, I want to fall in love. I want to get married.
That was never me.
I want to be with somebody. So
that was never
I
me.
think that for me, if I was gonna date a guy that was older, I would be thinking, if you looking at me and you a grown man and I'm a kid, if I have a kid with you, are you gonna look at my kid?
I didn't look at myself like a kid.
I was grown.
I thought I was super grown.
Right, me too. We had issues with the grown women.
They would be sitting here, we'd be like, we grown, we'll be doing the night.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
they were no, don't think they made them different
if they had kids.
That's it. Otherwise, I was like, you know, different than me. Like, yeah.
It's like, you know, that book, Coldest Winter Ever. We was talking about. If y'all read that, it's an old book.
Yes,
Sister Soldier.
Yeah.
Where is she, right? So, like, where your books at? But yeah, Sister Soldier, Coldest Winter Ever. That was kind of like the life we was living.
Yeah.
You read it, yeah.
I did read it.
Over and over again.
I mean, I just was scared of older big men. I don't know, maybe because I was so little.
Me too. Yeah. Right.
Nah, I don't know. Yes. I was looking at you all type of sideways. If you was looking at me, you was older, I would be like, yo, what's wrong with you? Yo, I'm a kid. Why? Like, even with that guy, even when I was 12, that day, like, I don't know. For me, that day, when I was 12 and that 18-year-old guy was trying to have sex with me, I was thinking, what is wrong with you? You a grown-ass man. Like, I was thinking something was wrong with him, and I was scared because I was like, this guy was muscular. He was short, but he was like, you saw the muscles. I was like, this guy could clearly rape me if he wanted to. Yeah. And he's probably thinking, like, why would your sister introduce you if he wasn't ready? Why are you in my room if you're not ready?
See, I wasn't 12, Julie.
I don't think he knew that I was 12.
I think when I got, like, to 16, 14-ish.
Yeah.
But I don't think he knew that I was 12.
Right, it was like 14, 15 for me, even 13.
Yeah.
Like,
That's horrible to say.
No, because I just said that my sister introduced me. So just think, my sister's 3 years older. If I was 12, she was around y'all age. So to her, that was normal. But for me, I'm 12. I'm not 14, 15. I'm not thinking about that.
Girl, we used to go to Pharaoh's.
Right.
Pharaoh's was, and it's so crazy. This guy, because you know a lot of New York people move to North Carolina.
Yeah, that's right.
And so
shout out to my New Yorkers in North Carolina.
Shout out, please. We got the super shout out.
Right. Okay.
Sorry.
Turn up.
Look, they mad now, but they be asking for them oxtails later.
Right.
We do have some oxtails.
I say,
we do want some oxtails. Let's talk about that.
Oxtails, man.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's
Correct me up.
Right.
Yeah. So like, let's talk about that, like cooking, like.
Oh lordy.
Yeah.
Talk about cooking. I gotta make some oxtails for my girl Jill.
Childish.
Who's Jill?
Who's this chick coming into our space? Let's talk about that. We are very
Didn't your best friend
territorial.
just move upstairs?
And I'm feeling
Yes,
some
she
type
did
of
move.
way.
Oh, so that's your best friend.
I
Good
said,
catch.
yes,
Yes,
I have
Jay
several best friends. Okay, we're not gonna do that. Okay, we are very territorial.
About our friends.
I think it's a cult. I think we're cultish.
That's what I'm like. Really feeling some type of way.
I
Maybe they're so close because they live in Greensboro. But I was like, they always together.
But they live in Charlotte.
Right, but we don't hang out as much. Every time I turn around, you posted
with you on her
thing.
And
no
now
shade
she's
to if
living upstairs.
I love you, you my girl.
Right, but now you living upstairs.
Right, why you gotta live
not even
upstairs?
more?
I don't understand that. Why she gotta live upstairs?
But I was like, is it just me? But I was just.
Oh my God, I don't know what to do.
I was like, Dad, I can't even get out here every weekend because that's an hour and a half, just 3 hours just to come see her. And then what if she's with her best friend?
See, this is why I can't have any other friends. If we're gonna be friends, anybody, I can't introduce you to them. I have a whole
I said, I need to start calling her more. And then I thought about that they rode home together from the cabin. And I was like,
that's normal stuff. Ooh.
I know, but then they carried it on.
I spent a holiday with each other.
I forget what movie you think she better
didn't
than
even tell me she
Like,
didn't even tell me she
what
bought a Christmas tree.
Right.
The shade.
I love y'all too.
Jesus, she had to take a drink.
Yeah.
I did need a
Are
drink.
you guys territorial over your friends?
I think most chicks are.
If so, what is the craziest thing that you've done to show, like, this is my friend and you're being territorial? What's the craziest thing that you've done?
I think chicks in general are territorial, especially when you bring in another chick, because it's like, hold on. Who is she? What's her social security number? How her kids act? Is her kids ghetto and ratchet, or are they educated?
Is she married or not?
Is she married or not? Does she work? Does she have goals in her life or not? Do you need to come in my closet and wear shoes initially? Because we're not going to be friends if you need my clothes initially. That's a cancel. So it's a whole investigation. We doing full background checks on you if you want to be friends with us.
How have you treated your friends in the past?
Right. We going back to your other friends.
Right.
You told me need references.
I'm like, why you're not friends no more? What happened
with your friends? You think we having a casual conversation?
But it's not.
What's your references?
Yes.
Right. I need to know who you
show
are.
up for you when you needed her?
Why you not friends with her no more either?
Y'all are crazy. I don't do that type of stuff. Only with my man.
I do.
I'm lying.
Well, I do it with my friends too. Because your friend is kind of like your man.
In a difference.
Yeah.
No homo.
You know what? Yeah. I remember
nothing against homos. How do you say this today? I gotta have all this disclaimers. No homo. Then I gotta say, wait, no, I'm for homos.
No offense.
Wait, no offense.
Right.
How do you do this today?
We like homos, by the way.
But we're not homos.
It's not homos. Wait, what are they
How
called?
do we do this?
Wait, we don't say homos. That's offensive.
Oh, that's offensive.
Sorry.
We're inclusive and diverse.
Right.
We love you all.
But it's like slang. No homo. It's slang.
It is a slang, but you will get sued.
You say that.
You're a homo.
So since we're talking about no homo, and I said we wasn't going to talk about this because I don't want
we need the Bible
things
to talk about this.
Right, but I did want to bring up, how do you guys feel about what Always is doing with the...
Go ahead, I got something that came to my mind.
Okay, so if you haven't heard, LGBTQ y'all know what I'm saying?
Right. L-Y-Z.
We really don't have no issue with anybody.
No, we don't.
Laugh and joke about it and call y'all the alphabets, okay?
Add the blacks on to the end of that.
So the point of it is that they were saying that they didn't feel like always or that pads were being inclusive because the female symbols was on pads. And so we was discussing, like, when did men start getting their periods? And so we're trying to figure out, why do they need to feel inclusive over something that they have nothing to do with. The last time I checked, men don't get periods.
Because apparently a transgender is not a man. Even though you need an organ transplant.
Even if you get... Yeah, even if you start changing your parts, you still not having a cycle.
You're still a man.
So why do you care about what's on a pad? Right. And so always, which I used to swear about always. I promise you, those are my favorite pads. Those are the only pads that I use. I just feel like, why did they put monster trucks? They put monster trucks.
Little Tonka trucks on our pads.
On our pads.
But what about us?
Right.
We don't want your Tonka truck on my vagina.
On my hello. Didn't we just talk about the little issues that we be having down there?
I don't want your little Tonka on my little tinkle.
Right. Keep your what the?
I don't want your Tonka on my tinkle.
What is he talking about?
They're trying to fade out women because we have the ability to reproduce. Right. And so without us producing, the world becomes...
I think that's their whole movement. That's why there's so much...
The devil is
coming up missing. I'm going to just say it. That's why all these young girls is coming up missing. That's why I really feel like they're being kidnapped so that they can have their organs taken out of them and implanted into people. I'm just going to say people.
Yeah, how else are they going to get the vagina
get pregnant? And I just feel like that's a horrible thing to do.
It is horrible.
I feel like it's a hard. And when I think about it, I'm like, well, where are these girls at? Because you haven't found a body, you haven't found anybody in the ocean, and so at the end of the day, well, what's happening with them? Are they burning the bodies? Are they being held in a warehouse?
Some of them, when they find them, their organs are missing.
So there was a doctor that was convicted. It might be on my Facebook page, so check out my Facebook. There was a doctor that was actually convicted for cutting up.
I've seen body parts. Because each part is worth, when I was in my accident, I really was like, okay, this is real. Because when I got a concussion, because I had a concussion with my accident in May, depending on where you get hit on your head, your back, that's how they communicate with the insurance company as to how much you're going to get. Like your head, your brain is worth a different price than your arm and your leg. Okay. So when they do all this craziness, that's how there's a black market. It's real.
You know what? At the end of the day, I could never really understand. Well, how far would you be willing to go to get something that you really, really want? I don't know what it feels like to be stuck in a body that I do not like, that I feel like is not my body, that it doesn't belong to me. I don't know what that feels like. And so, to me, it's almost like certain people are willing to go to certain extremities to get what they want.
I don't want your Tonka on my Twinkle.
Nobody's going to do nothing with your Twinkle. Your little star over there.
I was about to say something. It's not a little star.
Your big star. However you honor your magnificent star. Why y'all laughing? There's something about her star. I don't know.
No.
What am I supposed to know about her star? I
don't know.
No homo. No homo. So crazy.
I'm just saying, I don't know what it feels like to go to the extreme like that, because I've not ever had a situation in my life where I wanted something so bad that I was willing. And for example, like there are some women out here, I'm gonna just take it off the transgender or that type of issue. There are some women out here that want a baby so bad they're willing to trap a man. I'm gonna poke a hole in the condom. I'm gonna lie and say I'm on birth control. I'm gonna do the little turkey base or whatever. That's what I'm saying. How far would you be willing to go? So I'm gonna just throw that question out there. How far would you be willing to go, or share some of the stories of some of the things that you feel like is insane?
Or
right, somebody have done to get something that they really want.
Yeah, but I don't want that symbol changed. I want my symbol, I feel like, on the pads. I feel like if you want a period as a man, first of all, this don't feel good. It's not something you do every month. You go through these changes every month. We don't want it. If we could give it to y'all, trust me, you can have it. You can have it. You know what I'm saying? Right. If every month. Think about this. You're bleeding every month and you're going through changes. Who wants that? Yeah. I mean, some people, but really, who wants that? And so if you want, I feel like if you want, and I posted this on my Facebook page like a month or two ago, if you want a pad, just have your own little pad. Don't mess with ours. Right. Create your own little Tonka truck.
And I love
pad.
that she said that.
Create your own pad.
So anybody
why are you messing with it? Because I said, wait a minute now. So here's my issue. Okay. No, seriously, my issue with the whole LBGTQHYZIL elemental P community is, and I'm not being funny, but the whole thing is, you all sometimes feel like people are coming against you all, but you all are really coming against us as well. You don't respect our opinions, it seems like, from what I have
You're
experienced.
Not allowed to have
I'm not allowed to have an opinion against them. Yeah, if I don't want my child or whatever, you know what I'm saying, going that route, that's a problem for you. But so I'm not against you. I love everybody. I'm very comedic, so don't take it, but this is on the rail. I feel like you guys should respect, or when y'all should respect our opinions just as much as you want us to respect ours. Right. And if you want to create a world for yourself, don't try to take away from ours. Right. Leave our little world alone. I agree. We like our little world. We like our pad.
Get a unisex bathroom. Get a transgender
bathroom. Go get
bathroom.
one by yourself.
I don't want a grown man urinating in the same bathroom with my daughter or with me, and I don't know you.
It's not happening.
That's
create your own little world.
And we're entitled to that, and it doesn't
just as much as you're entitled to that.
It's already bad enough. I gotta urinate next to somebody that I don't know. Now I gotta worry about my child urinating next to a grown man.
Right. No,
because he wants to be a woman.
Because I think that's sick, and I think a lot of pedophiles are posing themselves as an opportunity to be in the same realm as children. Right. And let me tell you, I am licensed, okay, and I'm not afraid to shoot somebody. Right, just letting you know that.
I'm not shooting anybody unless I have to.
Yeah, we just don't pray.
Yeah. So
So what happens if your child? Each one of y'all have children. Mm-hmm. So what happens if your child comes home and they tell you they're going that route?
Transgender or bisexual or gay?
Either
way.
I mean, I feel like we live in a world where it's very likely, because now what's going on in the schools, that is the new trend.
It is
being gay, and
and now there's people making a choice rather than feeling like they was born with it. I feel like most people are making a choice to do it rather than saying, I saw these signs as a child, or something happened to them to turn them to like the same sex. A lot of times,
what would I do? I mean, again, I don't hate anybody who chooses to make that choice. Whether there's a heaven and hell, I don't have that to put you in. You know what I'm saying? But I can only teach my child the route that I feel that is best for her or him. But if they decide to go that route, I will teach them, and I will love them. Right. I am not going to accept what they do, though. I will love them through what they're doing, but I am not going to be accepting of their choice. I'm not for it.
I don't know if I should not be accepted just because of the love.
I'm going to love them.
I'm not saying that you love them any less. That's not what I'm saying. And don't take it that way. But I just feel like what I would do is I would teach them what the Word of God says about that. That's honestly what I would do. I would teach them what the Word of God says about that. Because if I'm gonna be quite honest, growing up, there was times where I'd be like, do I like women? Do I like men? Like that's a normal type struggle for people growing up, when you're now starting to experience your hormones are changing and stuff like that. You're starting to learn who and what you like. And I felt like, growing up, I was like, well, do I like this? Do I not like this? And it wasn't talked about. It wasn't acceptable to be gay or a lesbian or a transgender, because you didn't hear about it like that. My daughter goes to school with transgenders. She's friends with transgenders.
In middle school.
In middle school. She's 12. She's 12 years old.
In middle school.
She knows gays and lesbians. She has friends that's gays and lesbians. I would not disown her. I felt like if she was an adult and she wanted to bring someone of the same sex to Thanksgiving or Christmas, I don't know how I would feel about it. And I can't say that I would accept it or that I wouldn't. I feel like a lot of times, a lot of people stick their foot in their mouth by saying something that they don't know. Because you don't know until you're in that situation and you're dealing with it. So until I'm actually placed in that situation and I see it and I go through those emotions, I can't say what I would do. I would just try to teach my child what the Word of God says about it, and leave that up to her and God.
Yeah, right. And that's all you can for.
Sorry, I didn't answer the question, so I would just say we would
get that devil out of
together. Right, that would be the first. But yeah, I guess we would just figure it out together because a lot of times they may feel pressured to think that's what they like, and it may not be.
Right.
So
That's
we
true.
would just figure it out
And
together.
I would honestly feel a little bit as a parent, as like I would question myself and say, where did I go wrong?
Yeah. I think a lot of parents.
I would think that
yeah.
where did I go wrong? Did I go wrong? Sometimes it's not you going wrong. It's just there's a lot.
Right.
I mean, the peer pressure. I would not want to be a teenager these days.
Me either.
You know, it's so
hard.
much peer pressure going on. It's just like no, you know what I'm saying. So I don't know what I would do. What would y'all do?
Well, you have a son, right? So, and I know you're very, and I know you speak about this all the time about allowing your son to be with his dad during these years. And I feel like when I look at and I hear stories about homosexuals,
I have to sacrifice.
They always say, well, he saw his mother. He
Raised
grew up in
by
a house with a mom or just sisters, and so he wanted to put on dresses because that's what he saw.
That's what he saw.
That's not always the case. That's not always the situation.
No,
but I
it
do
plays
think
a big part.
I do think that's what I'm saying. I do think that,
especially when you see in these Instagram posts where you have it's a lot of younger girls who are dressing up like their sons, and they're like, hey,
but you know what? I dressed up as when I was younger, that whole Aaliyah vibe was in, and I'm not gonna lie. If you see pictures of me in junior high school, I looked like I was how the lesbians look now.
But that was feminine back then. Yes, it was.
I mean, no.
I'm
I'm saying not in the eyes of adults. It was in us because that's what we were
wrong.
seeing when we was watching TV. That's
I don't
what we
think
saw.
they were tying
But my mom,
lesbianism with it.
Girl,
Did
my
they?
mom told me when I was in my 20s and I first had my daughter, my mom said to me, she was like, I'm so happy because I remember when you were a teenager, I would cry and I would pray and hope that you didn't like this. And because she thought I was a lesbian because I dressed with sweatpants and boxes pulled up and braids in my hair.
Interesting because you're from New York and we're from New York, and we would think. I thought New York, like, because we're from Niagara Falls and you from what Brooklyn, and so I would think that that's how they rocking in Brooklyn, and it was like because you had the hat tops.
That's what we saw because that was our generation,
generation.
but that wasn't our parents' generation. They didn't grow up seeing that. Women dressed like. Matter of fact, I never saw my great grandmother with a pair of pants on.
Yeah, they had dresses.
She always wore a dress. Even her pajamas were gowns. Like I never saw her.
Long, silky, the little bow tie,
and they wear panties underneath, and you don't know why.
Shout out to grandmas out there with the long dresses and the ruffles.
Can we get them grandmothers back?
Right, we missed them. Yeah, because grandmas is real sexy. Y'all need to stay home with y'all grandkids. We need y'all.
My mama be
we really need y'all. I'm about to cry right now. My mama not like that, but she do go have a good time, and I'll be like, wow, when can you watch the kids sleep?
Oh,
I'm not serious. I'm an actress too.
She's such a compliment.
She did that too well because I seen the tears. I just produced it.
No, that's just the light. No, that's just the light reflecting off of us. But no, like we really do need y'all grandmas to come on and relax and watch the grandkids.
Do what you're called to do. If you a grandmother,
they don't think they're called to watch kids.
Don't say call me Nene. No, call you grandma.
Your name is grandma. I know Gigi.
He's trying to live up to that name, grandmother
or grandma.
Ain't no grandma. You grandma.
Yeah. Shout out to all the people that still have grandmas and great grandmas alive. Rest in peace to my grandma and great grandma.
Shout out.
Right.
Yes, she do say speaking them shout outs.
Gotta give
shout out. Hey, this is Ashanti, Mia, and shout out.
Shout out to
Brooklyn. Shout out to the Bronx. Shout out to Niagara Falls.
Shout out to my
jeans. Shout out to all my girls.
Shout out to my shoes, my lipstick is popping. Shout out to Ulta. Shout out to this man Shane here.
Is it raining? What's going on?
Yeah, so again, this is Mia,
Nadia,
Shantae,
and this is Thinking Out Loud.
Thanks guys for tuning in again.
Comment below, #SaveTheArtsTV.
See you next time.
Later.